Good evening, I'm Bill Pickle, and welcome to the Pickle Barrel. Hey, there's a couple of big races that's going to be taking place here in South Carolina in the great PD region here in about 2 weeks. And none of them is going to be as big as the 7th Congressional District race. We have our first chance to get our first congressman in many decades, and that congressman hopefully will be Tom Rice. Tom Rice is leading the race right now. Gloria Tinubu is his competitor on the Democrat ticket, and he is leading her now by about 13 points. It should be a slam dunk race, but I tell you what, surprises can happen. They have happened. I hope they don't happen in this race, and it shouldn't happen. In other words, we should have Congressman Tom Rice going to Washington for the great PD region, the 7th Congressional District. He has just absolutely stunned her with fundraising. He has collected well over almost $400,000. He has spent it wisely. He has a treasure chest left for TV ads, radio ads, and should do very well here in the last 2 weeks. On the other hand, Gloria Tinubu, she has actually had $26,000 on hand and has had to borrow $302,000, so she's $302 in debt starting off with, which is not a good sign. Tom is well known along the Grand Strand and Beach area. Tinubu is, although she says she's from here, she hasn't been in South Carolina for a number of years. She moved back after the 7th Congressional seat was established and decided, oh, I may move home and remodel the old homestead. Well, guess what? That looks kind of flaky to me, and it may look flaky to a lot of other people too. We'll see. She's a very liberal, very left, pro-Obama, pro-Obamacare, pro-union, you name it, she admits it, she's running on it. So she probably won't have a lot of chance. A lot of it will depend on the turnout of the minority voters. If they turn out in 2008, there's a shot. I doubt it. My money is on Tom Rice. One of the other races that's going on in Florence County is the race for county council. The Republicans, conservatives should pick up a seat there. I think Ken Cottle will take that seat. It's going to be a fight. I think it's a done deal, though. I think that we will have him with a name of Councilman Kent Cottle before too long. Keith Van Lucken will be the new coroner after Bubba Matthews, the Democrat, retired after many years, decades as the coroner. And as a Democrat, he knows Keith Van Lucken, who's been on the Sheriff's Department for a long time in investigations, and wholeheartedly endorsed him against his Democratic competitor who got mixed up into the filing fiasco and is not really on the ticket. So the coroner's job will go to Keith Van Lucken. The mayor's race is going to be a tight race, folks. We have Steve Powers is not doing anything to win the popular vote. He is going after the big money and the support of those that bow in humility to the big money and investors here in South Carolina, Florence County. I hate to say it, Wakila is strong. His backers are strong. That race is going to be bought if he wins. It's not going to be because of lack of work on Steve Powers' side, because he's been out there beating the bushes. He's had 10 community forums where the mayor has failed to come to one of them, and will not face Steve in public and address any of the issues, take questions from the citizens, and I find that despicable. I find it embarrassing. It's humiliating to the voters to be treated that way, and I hope they all remember it on Election Day. NAACP held a forum for Steve Powers and the mayor, Stephen Wakila. Steve Powers showed up. Wakila was a no-show. One of the black churches here recently, just this last weekend, held a forum, a educational forum, invited both candidates to come to that. Wakila never showed. Steve Powers was there. League of Women Voters invited both candidates. Wakila was a no-show. Steve Powers showed up. 7 or 8 other community forums, Steve Powers was there. Wakila was a no-show. Shows me which one of those wants to serve the people of Florence. It's going to be a tight race. It's going to be a tight race. Too close for me to even guess. I tell you what I hope. I hope we'll be saying Mayor Steve Powers. That's what I hope. All right, up north of us in Darlington County, that county council is probably going to stay the way it is. No need to talk about it. I think it's probably a lock-in the way it is. One of the regional races is the Senate seat 36 and House seats 62 and 63, which is in the Manning area and the Darlington areas. Comes in, takes a SWAT out of Florence County. I think Robert Williams and Ronald Page in Darlington is going to have a fight. Robert Williams has no business being in the House. He is the incumbent. He has got a reputation of not knowing what he's doing, following through on what he should do. He has the reputation of doing whatever the Black Caucus tells him to do. He votes straight down the line they tell him to vote on. He has a problem keeping meetings with media. He's had appointments with newspapers. He's had appointments with radio. He's had appointments with me. And has been a no-show. Or he shows up and stays on his cell phone instead of taking the interview. Strange bird, strange bird. Ronald Page, young man, first time out of the saddle, should win if people will vote their conscience and vote for true representation. He's young, he's excited, he wants to serve, he's campaigning hard, he is keeping his appointments with the media, he's knocking doors, he wants that race. Hope he gets it. One of the other races there is Kevin Johnson, Leon Wynn, Sean Kent, and Lisa Carter. Lisa Carter, that is for State House seat 36, by the way, which takes in part of Sumter and the western edge of Florence County, including Timmonsville. This race, oh gosh, how do you call it? Kevin Johnson probably has the lead going into the weekend, the last 2 weeks. Leon Wynn wants to win. He's a black Republican. He was a Democrat, blue dog, you know, a conservative Democrat, has switched parties. I'm hoping he will take that race. Eliezer Carter is a do-nothing. He should not get that race. He is the city attorney now for the near-defunct town of Timmonsville. Have very little faith in him. Nobody in the community has faith in him. He's a person that probably will not win and should not, and I hope not. In the race 35, in the Senate race 35 and House 53, Tony Barwick is taking on Democrat Joe McElveen. This is up in the Chesterfield County area. Tony Barwick will have a fight on his hands. He's a very strong conservative. He's working hard. He has a shot at it. Joe McElveen is a Democrat. very strong Democrat area. It's been held for Democrats for a long time. So Richie Yao and Tony Barwick both have a tough fight on their hands. It's a possibility they can win. I think there's a good chance they could win. I predict upsets in those races. If not, it's going to be too close to even think about. Well, that's what I think is going on in the area. I hope you get out and vote on 14 days from now, folks. 14 days. It's all going to be over with. Oh, yeah, we got a presidential election that day, too. We'll talk about that later. Have a good one. If you want to join me Monday through Friday, you can do so in the Pickle Barrel at the PD's best place for talk, News Talk 970 WJMX or 97.9 FM. We talk South Carolina every day, South Carolina style. Hope you'll join us. Have a good one.